There's a funny moment at the beginning of Super Mario Galaxy. It's here! Mario looks so goofy when he runs. Oh, that's not actually what I meant. It's after the introduction. Peach's entire castle has been levitated off the ground by a freaking UFO, and it's been stolen through a wormhole, and Mario has apparently been sucked into the vacuum of space. You know, standard stuff. And then there's this moment here. Mario gets woken up by a little star thing, and the game just does this. I think about this moment a lot. Mario Galaxy is nothing if not effusive. A lot of times it's a maximalist game. There are just so many ideas, so many galaxies, so many gimmicks and tricks. I mean, just listen to the soundtrack. Galaxy Garden Galaxy might as well be Mozart's Ninth Concerto for video games. I mean, the level of enthusiasm and joy and capital O orchestration is off the charts here. I honestly have trouble recording over this song because it gives me goosebumps. I mean, wow. But in the same game, there's also this. And I think this, as much as this, sets the stage for the whole experience. The 3D Mario games have an interesting relationship with setting. Really, only one of them has been consistent. That's Super Mario Sunshine. You like tropical things and water? Boy, do I have a game for you. You don't? Well, find another platform, I guess, because Mario isn't straight up Margaritaville for this entire game. But Sunshine's actually the weird one here. From Mario 64's different paintings, Odyssey's worlds, most of Mario's adventures define themselves by variety, in setting as well as in gameplay. There's virtually no thematic consistency in these discrete levels, and there doesn't have to be. Each one is charming, and more importantly, each one offers a totally different context for Mario to jump around in. It's hard to be bored when you're whisked off to a totally different place every couple minutes. And in some ways, Mario Galaxy runs furthest of all of this variety. You're flying to different solar systems. The game just bleeds new and interesting mechanics. You thought that Snow World was different than Clock World in Mario 64? Give me a break. Those levels have identical gravity than a Mario Galaxy's level. But despite all this variation, the dozens of different ways you move through the worlds, there is actually a uniting principle throughout the game's levels. Space. It's out there. It's unavoidable. You have to fly through it every time you want to go somewhere. And I think that Mario Galaxy knows it's impossible to make space something that's only ever fun. I talked about space before in a video considerably more grim than this one. Space Engine and Universal Paperclips force us to come to grips with our place in an infinite universe, and Mario Galaxy has no intentions of filling you with existential dread. But still, even in this happy-go-lucky universe, this is one of the first visuals the game gives us. A tiny moon suspended over a massive and abstract planet. No bombast, no triple jumps, it's a quiet exhale. You know those times when you don't realize you've been smiling because you feel it slowly fade from your face? That's this. It's right there in the title. Mario Galaxy gives us space. There's time here. Time to give a little perspective. Mario has gotta save Princess Peach, and he's going to. Don't worry. But it takes a little while. That's okay. You can't do it right now because you're only allowed to play video games on the weekend, and it's Sunday night. Mom and Dad really want to watch Tony, so have you played video games today? Even though you want to do left before you got all done and planned for the week. It's okay. Breathe. Mario Galaxy makes you take this kind of breather a lot if you look for it. Like every Mario game, there's tons to do in each level. There are multiple stars in each one, there are races, there are secrets, there are trickster comets, but you can't grab them all in one run-through. Like Mario 64, you're kicked out after finding each one. You've got to take a minute, update your star and coin count, save, and then jump back into the painting or fly back to the galaxy in pursuit of the next adventure. And in Mario Galaxy, the places you're kicked back into are just so lovely. They're referred to as hubs, or observatories, but they're not really. They're the rooms on this intricate little ship you've made your home. One is a fountain, one is a kitchen, one is a bedroom. They make up this wonderful little dollhouse version of domesticity. The stove isn't interactive, you can't climb into bed, but someone might. Each of these rooms is its own little buffer between worlds. Outside is an intergalactic vessel, and through the lens are dozens of unique planets, but this is just its own place. Is this sad? Like, is this bold-faced video title boring thing sad? Maybe not. But what it wants to communicate through this design isn't despair. It's more like the sadness at the end of a birthday party or coming home after a vacation. There's a moment when happiness leaves you. But that moment you eventually realize is good. Honestly, that birthday party was getting pretty exhausting by the end. It can't be Hanukkah every day. Much more obviously sad, and also much more weird, is the library. Over the course of the game, you can return here several times to hear Rosalina read a story about all these little star pits. You don't get to play out the story, you don't uncover a secret star for listening, and it's also not remotely related to your quest to find Princess Peach. It's literally just a storybook, with a surprisingly melancholy tale about Rosalina losing her mom and finding a family among the stars. It almost reads like The Little Prince. Listen to a story, the game gently prompts you. Stop playing for a second. Go and listen, and feel something that isn't quite joy. As you progress through the game and get more stars, you can access more of the observatories around the ship. Each of them have their own set of accessible planets, systems, and stars to collect, but they also simply let you explore new places. You gradually climb higher. You reach the engine room, but there's still a ways to climb. The last room you reach is at the very top of the ship, the highest point. Is it the ship's power source? Some kind of nuclear reactor? Is it the most powerful telescope in the universe? Is it some kind of weapon where you use the vaporized Bowser? It's this. The garden. I don't quite know how to talk about the garden. I think it's literally the only place in the game without music. There's this meaning in context to Rosalina's storybook. Her story is about wanting to go home before ultimately deciding the stars are her home, but the garden gives it a sad little coda. Maybe Rosalina still wanders out here sometimes, and remembers what it was like to live on land. There's the fact that, to me, this looks like the Isle of Skye, a place in Scotland that I think about more or less every day. I don't really think it exists to be analyzed, though. It, like this planet at the very beginning, is an exhale. Everywhere else in Mario Galaxy is meant to be clambered over, butt-stomped, or long jumped through, and the garden isn't any of those things. It's just so wholly unexpected that it forces me to stop, makes me catch my breath every time I walk into it. Even though Mario can seemingly soar through space with a grace of ease, the feeling of the void is always present in Mario Galaxy. There are black holes, there are bottomless pits, there's just this sparkling nothing every time you look outside your immediate area. And Galaxy doesn't hide from that. But unlike the cruelty by negligence of simulations, Super Mario Galaxy uses the coldness of the cosmos to make the spaces we do have feel that much warmer, that much more delicate. Maybe Mario could use power up to fly outside the atmosphere of the ship, maybe he could hop these small rocks and wander out into the garden, but why would he want to? We've got everything we need right here.